everyone, and welcome to my new office. Oh my goodness, this is the first time that I'm sitting down in my new office to tell my story. I have some notes over here, but this is the first time that I'm in my office to tell my story and to finish telling my story. And oh my goodness, is it not scary? Because I'm getting into the meat of my story and a lot of stuff that I'm responsible for, my dang self, and oh goodness, this is just, it's not that easy, but I'm just gonna continue on. So here we go with my story. So where was I? I think that I was finishing with my first child's birth. So, wow. I don't know if I told you guys this, but before she was born, Larry, who, I'd worked for him previously in the black market, he was there a lot during the pregnancy. He would take me out to eat a whole lot, and he had bought me a car. Well, he didn't fully buy the car. He paid the down payment and he helped me get into the car and expected me to make the payments. And I was all until my first child was born. And when she was born, I ended up needing stitches. I had an episiotomy and I had to have stitches down there, and I did not recover for 5 months. So I wasn't able to go to work and continue the car payments, and they were going to come and repo it, and I was so sad. And I remember I called Larry crying, and he showed up there and paid the car off, and I felt so blessed. I was so happy. But also, my baby being born, her birth was a transformative process for me, and I'm sure for her too. But oh, here's my doggo. But yeah, her birth was, it was crazy looking back on it. Yeah, I can't believe that I let Rory in the birthing room, but I did not let Zach. And maybe that's why Zach also thought, that must not be my baby. And she was blonde hair, blue eyed, and Zach had blue eyes, but Roy was more blonde hair, blue eyed. Anyway, they were convinced. What are you doing? What are you sniffing at? But yeah, Zach's family was all there. I wasn't expecting all that. I called him and let him know that I was going to have the baby the next day. And I let his mother know because, she had told me that she had never got to be there for any of her grandkids and all that stuff. So I let her know, and I wasn't expecting like his brother and her girlfriend and his grandma and like cousins, and everybody was there. And when they saw the baby, they agreed with Zach that the baby looks more like Rory. They were shocked. They were like, "What is Rory doing here?" And I never slept with Roy. The difference was Zach made me feel like a pile of crap. And Roy made me feel good and would make me laugh. Not necessarily make me laugh, but cut jokes with me. And, I wanted that type of atmosphere with my baby being born. After she was born, I did have an epidural, and I had to get up and walk and go pee. And while I was trying to do that and the nurse was helping me, at this time, Zach's family had all left. They had decided that this baby is not their baby, and they had taken off, and good riddance. Basically, when I first held her and looked at her, all of a sudden I could feel and know how big love can be. Like, I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that love is huge. It's so huge. It's gigantic. And I could feel that gigantic love. And it was just amazing. I was like on cloud nine with my new baby. And the idea of chasing after Zach, it just became, why? Why would I? What's the point of that? You know, everything changed. Like how I viewed him changed incredibly that day. So, yeah, they were trying to get me off the bed so that I could walk and go pee and, take care of myself. And Zach he showed up in my room and basically wanted to kick my butt right there. He was ready. And it took 3 nurses to hold him back and a doctor, and he would have beat my booty, y'all. She's looking at these suckers. That's what you're looking at. You can't have chocolate. But anyway, I had just given birth to his child. He doesn't know that. He thinks it's possibly Rory's, I guess. I knew, beyond a shadow of a doubt, there's no way it could be his. It could be Rory's, because I've never slept with him, ever. And I barely even hugged the dude. I have hugged him, though. But, yeah, Zach wanted to fight me. And it's really weird, because I'm like, why do you want to fight me? I don't know. But they held him off, and he left. He was ordered to leave the hospital. And I had my new baby, and I was just on cloud nine, for real. I was just like, bye, Zach, And I took care of my baby. And I asked Roy to go get me some Sonic, and he did. And yeah, I don't know. I loved her more than anything in the world. And yeah, I really had transformed. Before, I was a reckless, crazy maniac of a driver. Really. I was a horrible driver, and whenever we left that hospital and had her in the car, going above 35 miles per hour was insane. Before I had her, every single storm was like a wonderful mystery to be exposed, and I had to go out in it. And oh my gosh, I love The Wizard of Oz, and I could always imagine that in every storm there's going to be some hidden tornado that's going to sweep me up and take me away. Now that I had her, every single storm meant that we must find protection. Not only that, but I need to know when the storms are coming at all times so that I can make sure that she is protected. Everything changed. Everything. And to me, it was a glorious thing. It was a wonderful thing. I'm so grateful that everything changed. It was supposed to change. It was meant to change. I was so happy. But she was about a week old, and I was just in my own world, y'all. I'm so grateful to my mother, because at this time my mother let me live with her, and she didn't expect me to go to school. She didn't expect me to go to work. She just expected me to take care of my baby and recover. She provided, and I'm so grateful to her. I was so grateful for her. My eyes were opened once I had my daughter to what being a mother is. And I know that it was just beginning, but so much was revealed, and I did have a lot of heart-to-hearts with my mother during this time, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful how we got to reconnect. And yeah, now we had a third generation. So it was really cool. I loved it. My days centered around her. It was serving her, and I loved it. I loved every bit of it. I did. And she was the best baby in the world. I was so lucky. I always say I recommend getting a baby like her first. Start off with a baby like that. I use her name, but um, yeah. So it was about a weekend, and I had schedules that I did with her throughout the day, different times for bath, different times for eating and sleeping. And at this stage, though, I mean, it's literally eat, sleep, poop, eat, sleep, poop, eat, sleep, poop, repeat. But we would eat, sleep, poop while watching Bambi, because I like to watch Bambi a whole lot. And then we would eat, sleep, poop while listening to Mozart while I was playing a video game. And then we would eat, sleep, poop, you know? So I had my own little schedule going on. And yeah, I listened to a lot of Mozart and a lot of classical music whenever she was little. I'd just have it going on around her. I was way into those baby Einsteins, and Larry was into the baby Einsteins with me. So he was getting her all the little baby Einstein stuff. And yeah, it was pretty awesome. Anyway, Zach and Brent show up. They knock on the door, and it was like an interruption into this magical world I was creating. But they come in, and Zach holds her and looks at her, and he hands her over to Brent, and he says, "You see what I was talking about?" And Brent was like, "Yeah, I see." And Brent gives her back to me, and they leave. And bye, good riddance. I no longer cared. I would no longer chase. I no longer cared. Not only that, but whenever I was pregnant, I was invited to all the parties. But once I had her, I was invited to all the parties. And I could have went. I could have found a way. I did not want to go. I did not want to find a way. No, I've got the most glorious creature on earth. I got my baby. And I'm going to take care of her. And oh my gosh, I just loved her. I loved her with all my heart. And yeah, I would spend all my time taking care of her, truly. And it did take me 5 months before I was a fully healed. Also, I had to take sitz baths, and I had to do all kinds of stuff. I couldn't really walk. And it did take me 6 months before I could fully heal and be able to walk normal. But once I was able to walk normal, again, Zach had got a hold of me, and he wanted to hang out, and she was 6 months old, and this was summertime now. So we met in the park, and I got a couple pictures of him playing with her, because I knew that he was her dad, but I also knew that we weren't going to be together, and I was going to be moving on with my life. But I wanted something to show her, this is who your father is. This is who he is, and in my mind, I'm going to tell her, like, he was this hero, and he has to spend more time protecting us than, that's why he can't be here. Like, make up some story to make her understand that, to love her dad. I knew that he wasn't going to claim her, and I was perfectly fine with that. I was okay with that. And he convinces me to go back to his house and stay the night and watch movies. And I don't think that we did sleep together that time. I was just like over it, and I was just thinking, maybe he'll see that it's his daughter or something. I don't know what I was thinking, honestly. But that's the last time that I dated him. That I left that next morning, and I didn't ever look back. I had no reason to look back. I did look back, but we'll get there. But I wasn't gonna look back. And I started dating other guys. I dated a guy in the Air Force, and he was very, very uptight, and I realized I don't want an uptight guy. And then I dated this really cool guy, but I catfished him, and it made him so mad. So I guess, I always look at that as I shouldn't have done that, but my brother's girlfriend, she helped me catfish him. We were really good friends, and we were gonna see, because he kept telling me that I'm the only girl he's talking to, the only one he wants to talk to. So we created a profile and seen if he will talk to this other girl, and talked to him for a while behind the scenes while he's telling me this stuff. He's also talking to her, and then my brother's girlfriend was like, we need to really test this and see if he'll meet us somewhere, and it'll be us. And he was willing to meet her, and he did. And whenever it was us, he got mad. He got mad at us. And I was just sad because it sucks. I was like, I shouldn't have even done that, because why do that, you know? I mean, it does show a lack of trust, I guess, but she's like, girl, you just dodged a big bullet. That's why we did it. So, whatever. Yeah, so there you guys go. That's my story for today. And thank you guys so much for listening, and thank you guys for putting up with my little chihuahua. Her name's Luna, if you're wondering her name. It's Luna. We call her Lulu. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. And as always, be blessed with love. That's all she got.